It is going to change the face of families being able to get their families the help that they need.
Fighting drug addiction. It's a problem affecting families all over the country and right here in the Mahoning and Shenango valleys.
Drug addiction affects more than just the person using the drugs. Families are directly impacted by loved ones abusing those drugs, and those families need support too.
That's why a Pennsylvania lawmaker introduced legislation to help families. 27 First News Weekend anchor Julie Bursick is live in the studio to explain how it works. Her story is News Since 6.
Really, this is all about helping families dealing with drug abuse and getting their loved ones the help that they need. This legislation would allow families to seek an involuntary commitment so their sibling, their child, even their parent can get help. Of course, there is a process that a family has to go through for this to happen. WKBN had Senator Jay Costa explain how it all works. The opioid epidemic is hitting Pennsylvania hard.
Addiction is a disease, whether people want to believe it or not.
Gloria Mackley is the president of the Mercer County Coalition for Drug Awareness. She was also on the panel for WKBN's Heroin Town Hall Crisis. She supports legislation that would allow Pennsylvania families the chance to involuntarily commit a loved one into treatment.
I was amazed because this is huge.
The legislation follows the Mental Health Procedures Act, which allows a family to involuntarily commit a loved one with a diagnosed mental illness. Senator Jay Costa introduced the legislation and explained the process. It starts with filing a petition with a county administrator.
My son or my daughter, my husband or my wife, whatever, is addicted. I've tried everything. We can't do anything anymore. We need her or him to be involuntarily committed.
Next, the individual has to go through an assessment.
After that, there'll be a hearing, due process provided, and that the individual then would be subject to the involuntary treatment, whatever the physician and hearing examiner recommend.
Treatment would vary on a case-by-case basis, and a person would not be able to check out of treatment.
And that's amazing because at this point they can go in and they can say, I'm leaving.
Some recovering addicts say making a decision to stop using is a big decision, and a person has to be ready. We asked Senator Costa about involuntary committing someone who isn't ready to stop using.
And typically these are going to be instances where folks do not want to go, but I think the goal is to hopefully get them in a place where we can work towards that end.
Hopefully it will be a big asset, but you're right. It could work the other way around as well. They could say, I like doing what I'm doing and I'm not stopping.
So First News also asked Senator Costa who would pay for this treatment, and it would actually be a person or the family's responsibility, and that's actually part of that petition process. An individual would have to prove he or she has the means to pay for it or have the insurance. Reporting tonight in the studio, Julie Bursick, WKBN 27 First News at 11.